Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Craft Hoarder over here on YouTube, our own crazy little crafting corner of the universe. Today is something a little bit different. I have never done a whip and chat before, so why don't you come along for my first paint with me segment? Yeah, I've watched many of these, but I've never actually filmed one, so this is a pretty brand new channel, so we'll see if I like this well enough to post it. I just feel like I need to talk tonight, apparently. And what better way to do that than to work on my diamond painting while I'm doing it. I am drinking a strawberry banana body armor. It is almost 11 o'clock at night. Kids are in bed. Today is just, I'm so exhausted, but it's one of those days where I just don't feel like I can get any sleep. So instead, diamond paint, right? Maybe that'll do it. So yeah, let's see what I'm working on here. This is a storage tube from Craftably. There is a video up already about these, and I'm so far like loving this. Like, what great versatility, right? Like, totally adore this. Super happy about it. My current project, well, one of many. Let's just say this. So, like, I kind of have a little bit of ADHD, like, undiagnosed. I've always been very, like, I'm not going to say flaky because I always finish my projects, but, like, okay, so I have 7 diamond paintings going right now. I have 3 crochet projects. 2 knitting projects. I'm about to start a 3rd knitting project. Don't ask me why, but I need to have socks on the needles again for some reason. I've got paper crafts that I've got to do for my daughter. And I have 4 pumpkins currently sitting on my porch that need to be carved. So yeah, I kind of am one of those people that I always have a lot of projects going on, and I bounce around between a lot of them. So I'm not always working on the same thing, but this is a Halloween themed diamond painting, so I kind of want to get it done for Halloween. Okay, so okay, I gotta put my table back down for just a second. So I love this coffee table. Oh my god. My aunt and uncle gave me their old coffee table, and it's one of the few places that I can diamond paint without having to use a pool noodle on my painting, because it's big enough I can kind of spread out as long as my painting's not too big, right? Like, I have a few of them, but that just doesn't work. And my couch cushion is falling out from under my butt, so hold on. Let's readjust that there. There we go. Okay. Now that that's all comfy and cozy, let's spread out here. So this is a Diamond Art Club. Don't know why the words were failing there. Diamond Art Club painting. This particular painting is done, the artist of this is Randall Spangler, and it is called Ghost Stories. And as you can see, I am I'm over half done. I did have this sectioned out into 8cm squares, and I can tell you that there's 1.5, 2, and then there's 3 here. So this was 3 sections, and I took my tape off because, like, I have been working on this canvas for so long that my tape was just getting nasty and it was really irritating me, so I just took it off. But it's far enough along that I don't feel like I need it anymore. Like, when I'm first starting out, it's really overwhelming, so I like to section off into 8cm squares. That just kind of helps me have a good idea of where I'm going to start, how I'm going to work my painting to get it all done. So that's that. This tray is from Firefly, and I actually won this as a little freebie from Diva Den on Facebook. She just released her own diamond painting kits. There is a video that will be getting posted up. It's probably going to be posted before this one, actually. So check her out. But she has like these little contests for top contributors every month. And one of the ones I was lucky enough to win, I got a gift card to Dreamer Designs and this beautiful tray, which I absolutely love. This is by Firefly. It's a little 4-slot, and the pour spouts over here, you've got like these little things that pop out. I don't even know if I'm in frame, so I'm sorry if you're not seeing any of this. I'm trying to be in frame, but I can't see the camera, so we're just gonna talk and hope for the best. So that's one of the trays that I use. The other trays that I use are from Bella Art de Nicole, and they're just these little, I mean, they're basic trays. Like, I love these basic trays. They have little divots at the top of the lids in the trays so that it kind of like locks it together, and so it doesn't just fall off, and it's nice and sturdy, and they stack. And there's big ones and little ones in the sets, and then these little plugs pull out and you can pour your drills in. And tell me this, like, how was it that I was using these trays for like a good month or two before it finally dawned on me that to put my drills from the trays back into my containers, I don't have to sit there and be super careful. I just have to put the freaking lid on and they don't go everywhere. I don't understand why it took me that long to figure it out. I am not a stupid person. It was just a stupid moment. It was just one of those stupid things that I did. I was so mad at myself. I'm still kind of irritated with myself that I sat there and struggled with that for like a month, trying to get my drills back into my containers for my tray. And I feel really stupid admitting that, but there you go. Yeah, that's me. I'm actually a pretty smart person, just that was just a dumb moment. And then I have my little, oh no, did I just drop some drills on my, I can't tell if I did or not. I thought I felt one fall out. Anyway, so this is my little garbage drill cover minder. It has a really strong magnet on the back side. Oh, on the back side, and another magnet that's printed into it, and I just use this to hold back my plastic and put in any of those drills that are just like a little bit misshapen that I don't like. There's a few drills in here that I should probably empty out before I have too many more of those accidents like that. One of the really stupid moves that I did the other day was I had one of these trays filled up with like one of these orange colors, and there was like a piece of dust on my canvas that I was trying to get off, and I had my tray sitting open right here full of drills, and I blew on it. I blew to get the dust off of my canvas, and those drills, I blew them right out of this tray, and they were everywhere. I spent probably a good, I don't know, hour picking up all of these little drills off of the floor and table and off of the rest of the canvas. Oh, I was so irritated with myself. I do stupid stuff like that sometimes. I use a little ceramic point pen. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but it's just a little ceramic pen cutter. Super tiny, tiny, tiny blade on there. I mean, like, I can't even show you how tiny that is. It's not sharp. It doesn't hurt. I mean, if you stabbed yourself, sure. But it doesn't hurt. It's not going to cut you. But it's enough to cut the plastic covering off into little squares. And then I have my death tweezers. These ones actually are Diamond Art Club. I don't really pay attention to what tweezers I grab. I keep all my tweezers in the same place and I just grab a set, because you always need tweezers, right? Then I have two different pens here. I'm currently obsessed with this tip on this one, but I do like this straight tip, and this tip is from Diamond Art Club. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it doesn't fit in there very well. So I stuck some hot glue down there to hold it. And I think I might need to re-glue it actually, because it's getting a little loosey-goosey on me. And then I have a two-placer from them that I have putty in on the other side. And I'm still debating on whether or not I actually like putty, because sometimes I think I do and other times I'm like, no, I hate this. This is just a cheap little acrylic pen. Where did I even get this? I want to say that this pen came from Temu, because I'm pretty sure I only paid like $2 for it. Like, pretty sure it came from Temu. Like 90% sure. Now this pen I bought from Dreamer Designs. Like when I first started diamond painting, and I didn't know that there was cheaper pens out there. I just thought it was a really cool pen, so I bought it. And then these tips are Everlasting Tips. They're from Everlasting Tips on Etsy. I have got to say, like, I never thought that I would spend that much money on a tip. I really didn't. And to be honest, if I hadn't won a gift card to them from an event that I participated in, I probably never would have tried them. But that being said, these are honestly some of the best tips I have ever used. I am really happy with these. It has a good weight. It's got a good consistency. There's no damaging. It's comfortable. I really like this. This is a two-placer tip, and this is a single-placer angled tip, and I really like them. Again, I probably never would have tried it if I hadn't won that gift card, though, because they're a little out of my price range. Like, you get pens and everything, and you can get metal tips anywhere, but for really cheap. But these are amazing tips. I'm really happy with these. And then I am in my favorite storage system, which is the Elizabeth Ward system. This has a lid that goes over the top of it, but it's in my bedroom, and I'm not going to go get it because I just take them off anyway. But I love this system. I can see everything really clearly. It's really easy for me to get everything out. They pour really nicely. It's kind of customizable because I can take like smaller and bigger ones out. And this kit had enough colors in it that I actually needed a second tray and put some in this tray. This tray has two kits in it, two partial kits in it. This partial kit, which is Starborn Unicorn from Diamond Art Club, is on this side, and then my Ghost Stories from Diamond Art Club is on this side. So that's how I tell the difference between the two kits. I have a little bit of a gap with empty containers and put my little logbook stickers on there so that I can tell what I'm working with. And those are just, I mean, I only needed a few extra, and they just would not fit in here no matter how many times I tried to rearrange this. And believe me, I tried. They weren't going to do it. So I just put them in there. And so I have to work out of two kits, which is fine. Or two trays, which is fine. So yeah. All that being said, let's get into working this, because I'm hoping that if I work on this canvas a little bit, I might actually relax enough to fall asleep, because that would be really amazing. I'm not sleeping very well lately. I've had a lot going on. I'm a single mom of two. I'll give you a little bit of background about me. I'm a single mom of two. Dad is in the picture, just not living with me. We are no longer married. Yeah, it was just a thing. Like, we're not compatible, and our kids shouldn't suffer for that, right? So we decided not to make that happen. Long time ago. My oldest daughter is 3, and my youngest daughter is 2. So I'm pretty busy. My oldest is autistic. She is on the spectrum. And I've actually learned a lot about myself by having all of these evaluations and stuff done on my daughter. Kind of makes me feel like I need to be evaluated, actually, because there's a lot of things that I did not know that most people don't do. I did not know that, most people... Anyway, there's just a lot of traits that I didn't realize that is not considered like a typical thing that people do, that I do. I see a lot of myself in my daughter, which is normal. Like, I'm her mom, I should, right? But there's a lot of shared traits there that just kind of makes me wonder, and the struggles that I have with executive dysfunction really lends to that. Like, some days are just really hard. Like, some days are so hard that, like, even getting out of bed is like enough to freeze you up for the day. Today is one of those days where I am running on like 5 spoons right now. And that's pushing it. I go to school full time. I am in school for early childhood education and development, and I am leaning towards doing a special ed pathway, because like throughout this whole process, I have been trying to get my daughter the services that she needs. She's really far advanced in a lot of areas, but she's not so much in other areas. So occupational therapy is one of those things that was very, very helpful to her. And unfortunately, the place that she was getting occupational therapy closed their doors down. So I have been struggling to try to find a replacement in this area. And of course, everything takes so long. Everything takes forever. But there's genuinely like not a lot of services in our area. She goes to a great school. It's a little preschool that sets her up for success. She does great there. She's made all kinds of little friends, which is actually like really nice. Considering like, a year ago when we first, a year and a half ago when we first started this process, she wasn't even talking to anybody. So it's amazing the progress that she has made. I'm super proud of her for that. But it's very near and dear to my heart to want to help her. I mean, obviously I'm her mom, right? And I see a lot of the other parents struggling, and it's really difficult to see that. And I've always wanted to be a teacher of sorts. I really want to work with younger kids. I love working with younger kids. They're just so much fun. And I feel like, I can really have an impact at that age. Like, teaching a kid how to read is so rewarding. I never thought I'd be a parent, and here I am. Like, I love my girls, and I would never trade it for anything in the world. And I think that's really my true calling, is to just do kind of what I always wanted to do and be a teacher, especially for younger kids. And I really feel like with the lack of things that are available, I think that I could give back a little bit and help somebody else out by choosing to do the special pathway, the special ed pathway. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. I'm just starting out, so we'll see what happens. Last year I was in school for medical billing and coding, and I got that certificate and realized within 2.5 seconds that that was not real smart for me. I don't do well being cooped up in an office. I used to work for I used to live in Reno, and when I lived there, I worked for some of the bigger casinos in the area. And one of them that I worked at, I was promoted quite quickly. And I loved what I did when I was dealing the games, because that was a lot of fun for me, right? Like, I'm getting paid to play games all night. Like, that's amazing, right? I worked my way up to floor supervisor to management assistant manager. And once you hit a certain level, it's not as much fun. Like, you're spending way more time in an office than you are out on the floor hanging out with your people, right? And that's when it really kind of hit me that I am not really built for a corporate ladder. I loved what I did when I did it, and I loved everybody that I worked with. I really kind of miss the job sometimes. But circumstances being what they were, like, my personal life I was not in the place where I could continue that line of work. And it's really difficult on me when, you have 2 young kids being in that kind of work too, because there's no work-life balance. And especially like needing to be able to be around to help my daughter. Well, both my daughters, but my oldest needing to be able to take her to occupational therapy, feeding therapy, speech therapy, her classes, and then starting my classes. I need to be available for those. I left Reno a couple of years ago, and I haven't really looked back. But it did make me realize that medical billing and coding was probably not that smart for me, because I do not have it in me to be cooped up in an office all day. I don't have it in me to deal with screaming people all day. I don't, because your chances are you're going to end up with some unhappy people disputing some medical bills, and that's fine. That's the business, but that's not me. And having a work-life balance is important to me too. And that it dawned on me after I completed all of the schooling for it that that was not very smart. So I'm back in school for something completely different. And I am loving every second of it. I have learned so much that I feel like a lot of the stuff that I am learning in school, I feel like should be taught in high school. I feel like, because there's an issue with like teen pregnancy and stuff, right? So like, why not teach people how to be parents before they ever become parents? And I feel like that's the place where a lot of this stuff could actually make a difference for people. And I'm kind of excited to be a part of that now. So all that, wow, that was a lot, wasn't it? I just totally unloaded right there. Huh. I am in my first semester of this particular program. So I have a year. What color am I looking for? Oh, I'm looking for the U-turn. Do you guys ever name your symbols? Like, I name my little symbols. Like, this one is the U-turn. And it's just like that weird little loopy arrow one. And then I have the percent sign. I named this one the percent sign, where it's just the two little dots and the slash. That one gets named the percent sign. There's, let's see, this one's Tetris. And that's the weird little T. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. It's the weird little T. It looks like a Tetris symbol. So that one's Tetris. Let's see, what other little symbols do I have that I name? Yeah, I don't really see any other little weird ones, but the rest of them are just kind of normal. This one, I have seen people like call this one Isis. To me, that's 12. I don't know. People name their symbols. Do you name your symbols? What do you name your symbols? What's the weirdest symbol name that you have? This one I call the kite, because it kind of looks like a kite flying. So I call that one kite in my head. It's a kite. That would be really fun. I have never taken my kids kite flying. Oh my gosh. I should take them kite flying down on the beach. That would be so much fun. I think they're getting to an age where like they would really enjoy that. So next year, I'm going to have a couple of classes in the summertime. But it won't be such a heavy workload. It's only a couple of classes. So I'll be able to take them down to the beach next year and do a lot of good beach trips with them. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to have to get them some kites. I single place everything. So, like the most that I multi-place is 2. I have multi-placed more than that. But for squares, I don't like to multi-place squares. I single place pretty much everything. I really like this satisfying click. Does anybody else find it hard to like multi-place squares? Not that it's hard, it's not as satisfying. Because I don't get that little click of every drill. Like, I like that little click. Is that just me? Or am I weird? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know I'm weird, but I'm sitting here talking to a camera, and I know I'm weird. I just am wondering if there's anybody else that's weird out there like me. So, I discovered a kind of new method to me that I really like doing. So not only do I section out into 8 centimeter squares, and like I said, I already peeled all the washi tape off of this because I was far enough along that it wasn't so overwhelming. Because if it gets too overwhelming, I just won't work on it. And I'll just give up the hobby for years. I mean, I started diamond painting in like 2016 and have like nothing to show for it because I got frustrated with one painting and I didn't pick it up again for like 3 years. Instead, I taught myself how to knit and created a whole new hobby for myself. Yeah, so there's that. Anywho, yeah, I like to single place everything. And when there's a lot of colors that I know I'm going to be dipping in and out of, I just keep my tray full and put the container on top of the tray and just switch back and forth between them. Oh yeah, I was telling you, the new method that I found myself, not only do I section, but I section my sections now. That makes zero sense because I don't have any washi tape to reference this, but I section my sections now. So instead of working on the whole 8 centimeter square at a time, I work on 5 rows. And I tried 6. I don't like 6. I don't know why, it just feels slow to do 6. I tried 4 and I didn't like 4. That went by too quickly to where I didn't feel like I was actually making any progress. But I like 5. I like working on 5 little rows at a time in my 8 centimeter square. Does anybody else section their sections, or is that just like a weird, like, does that sound weird? Because I feel like that sounds weird, but it makes me happy. And it makes me feel like I am making good progress. And I feel like I can get it a lot faster. You know what I did the other day? I actually wanted to know how long it would take me to work on all of the diamond paintings that I have in my stash. I wanted to know how long it would take. So I took an 8 centimeter square and I counted how many square drills were in there. Since I single place my squares, that kind of gives me a good idea of like how long on average it takes me to do something, because it's very consistent. Like, I pick up and place, right? Like, this is how I work on my canvases. This is my normal pace. I don't rush through things. I'm not super slow, but I'm not really the fastest either. And I just kind of relax and enjoy the process. So I counted how many squares was in that 8 centimeter section. And there's a little over 1,000 squares per section. So it's 1,000 drills per section. So I timed myself. And it takes me, on average, 13 minutes to do, I want to say it was like 1,015 squares. I think that's what it was. I think it was like 1,015. It was like a weird number. Or was it 1,023? I can't remember. Oh my goodness, that's gonna drive me nuts. I'm gonna have to do the whole thing over. I bet you I kept that piece of paper that I wrote on though. It might have been 1,023. So here is a trash drill that I just ran into. I'm not going to try to show it because you're not going to be able to see, but there's like a little air pocket on one side. So I just put those in my little cup. And then I have a jar that I dump this into. And I save all of them because I then, and there's another little trash drill right there. There's not a lot of trash in Diamond Art Club though. I mean, overall, like, they have some of the best squares on the market, so like, they're amazing. I do love Diamond Art Club. I've spent way too much money with them. Like, I can't even believe how much I have invested in diamond paintings. Like, if I were to sit down and calculate it, I would be just so upset with myself. But I love all of them. And, you know, if you think about it this way, like, this is pretty much the only form of entertainment that I have. I am way too busy to be, like, trying to go to, like, the movies all the time or go out to eat all the time. Or, I mean, I just went and got my nails done for Halloween. Because it's literally my favorite holiday of the year. Like, I love Halloween so much. So I went and got my nails done, and this is the first time I've had my nails done in like, let's see, 10 years, 9 years, I think like 9 years. It's been a while. Like, it's been a long while. I was in Reno the last time I had them done. Yeah, it's been a long while. And I was a food server the last time that I had them done. So yeah, like 9 years ago. Anyway. So I went and I got my nails done. And I went to the beauty school to do it because it was cheap. And I'm kind of cheap. I mean, if I had these press-ons on, and there's a couple of videos that I recorded with these press-ons, so you'll get to see them. And I put these press-ons on, and I spent 2 hours freaking prepping my nail and putting on these the glue and the dehydrator and all the things, right? Like, I was trying to make it nice because I do actually have an e-file and stuff, because that was one of the hobbies that I got into, like, once upon a time, a long time ago, was nail art. For some reason I had it in my head I was going to be some great nail technician. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but I have all this stuff for doing nails, right? Like, I have the lamp, I have the e-file, I have the tips, all the stuff. And I saw an advertisement, of course, on freaking TikTok, right? Like, TikTok gets me in so much trouble, I swear to God. I hate TikTok, but I love it at the same time. So I saw this little advertisement for semi-cured nails, and like in the advertisement, of course, it tells you like, oh, these are great for helping grow out your nails. You don't have to have any nails, and you cure them under the lamp, and it turns into like hard gel nails. Yeah, if you like having paper nails. I mean, that's pretty much what it was like. It was like having paper nails. I spent 2 hours doing all the prep work and trying to get, like, make sure that my seals on it were like perfect. They were lifting in a day, and by day 4 I had ripped one off and chipped, like, in multiple places, all the rest of them by day 4. And they looked terrible. I mean, they just looked absolutely terrible. They're not for me. But I really wanted having Halloween nails because I am going out with my parents this weekend. I mean, I don't go out, right? Like, so this is a big deal to me. I'm going out for Halloween with my parents this weekend. We're going to go see a show, Fright Night Theater. Super excited about it, right? Like, there's going to be burlesque and haunted house and all kinds of, like, there's somebody that's going to be catching fire and, like, all the things, right? Like, so I'm really excited about this. And then Halloween is next week, and I'm dressing up with my kids. I dress up every year. I'm in my 30s, and I still dress up for Halloween. Like, that's how much I freaking love this holiday, right? So, in fact, I wrote a paper in high school on the origins of Halloween. Like, I love Halloween so much. And I always have. So I'm really excited about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I wanted to have some really cute nails. And I got these little press-ons that were like, they had the white French tips, and then, there was like a gravestone and spiderweb, and, they looked super cute for all of an hour. I actually, like, completely broke one off just by sleeping, like, in my sleep. I don't know. They don't work for me, and I don't have nails. I think the problem is that I don't have nails. Like, you legitimately have to have nails. It's like people that paint their nails. It doesn't do me any good to paint my nails. I don't have any nails. They don't grow. And I have tried all the things. I have tried biotin, I have tried collagen, I have tried all the things, right? Like, my nails just don't grow. They suck. I've given up. So I went and I got my nails done. and they're really cute. I'm super happy with them. But I went and did them at the beauty school because like I just don't see the point in spending a whole lot of money on something that is probably only going to last me like a couple weeks, because I also have sensory issues. So the first time something happens to one of these, all of them are coming off. And I don't care how bad it hurts. I will make my nails bleed tearing them off if they get a chip. That is so freaking horrible, and I know, but I can't do it. I can't have a chipped nail. I just can't. There's a reason I don't have nails, right? Like I can't handle them. I don't know what it is, but I love them when I have them done. And so I discovered beauty school, and they do really good. This gal spent like 3 hours on my nails. What was my point in this story? Oh, okay. So my point in this whole thing is that it's a big deal for me to go out places, right? Like I don't do a lot of stuff. I gave up cigarette smoking, which was huge. I mean, that was huge for me. I have been a smoker for over 20 years, because I started long before I was legally allowed to start. I actually traded homework with some seniors for a pack of cigarettes. Like that's how far back, like the seniors in my school, you know, I made some friends with some that were failing, and I passed some classes for them. And that's how I paid for my cigarettes, was I got them to give me cigarette money and go buy cigarettes for me, because it was legal for them. They were 18. Now the cigarette age is 21, at least here in this state. I don't know if that's the case everywhere, but I was kind of blown away by that, to be honest. Kind of think that that's a little wrong, but like, whatever. I'm not about to get into politics, right? Like, that's not what this channel is for. So yeah, I gave up cigarette smoking, and I've been a smoker for over 20 years. You know, of course I didn't smoke when I was pregnant. That was like the easiest time for me to quit, was just like cold turkey. Nah, I'm good, right? Like I don't need that. And it was super easy to do. But then as soon as like the kids were just like slightly older, I was smoking again. And that's kind of like my coping mechanism. That's how I cope with things. I go have cigarettes. So I quit smoking, which of course it freed up a lot of money. I don't think people realize exactly how much money they spend on cigarettes. I was smoking half a pack a day, and the price that my cigarettes were, it was costing me like $340 something a month to smoke. And half a pack a day. Like, that's insane, right? Legitimately, like, that's insane. So it freed up a lot of income. And I don't go out gambling. I don't go out partying. I am such a boring little homebody. I don't like to go shopping. I hate shopping. I'm a total introvert, right? Like, I don't like to go shopping. That's one of those things that gives me major anxiety, is having to go to the grocery store. I don't even like grocery shopping, right? Like, that's why I signed up for Walmart Plus. They bring my groceries to me. So diamond painting is one of those things that is like, my hobbies are my frivolous, right? Like, that's, if I'm going to be frivolous with anything, it's, I'm going to go buy more yarn. I don't need more yarn, but I'm going to buy it. Do I need another diamond painting? No, absolutely not. But I'm going to buy it. Like, that's how I entertain myself. And my whole point in this thing, I got so sidetracked, is to say that I actually sat down and tried to figure out how long it was going to take me to go through all of my diamond paintings. So I sat there, I timed myself on how long it took me to place an entire 8 centimeter square. And I picked one that was kind of half confetti, half color block, right? Because I don't want to make it too hard, but I don't want to make it too easy. I kind of want to get like a good rough estimate of how long it took me. And it took me 13 minutes to place that square. No, it took me longer than 13 minutes to place that square. It was, what was it? Where did I get the 13 minutes? I think I divided it down to see. Let's see, there was 1,023 squares or some random thing, right? And I wanted to see how long or how many squares I was placing a minute. That's what it was. How many squares I was placing a minute. And I calculated out that like so many squares took me 13 minutes to do. And I think it was like 100. I think I broke it down and rounded it down to like 100 when I was doing it. Anyway, all that, and I'm not sure that any of my figures are right at this point. I'd have to look at my notes, and I don't know if I even kept my notes, so I might just have to redo the whole damn experiment. But anyway, I figured out that it would take me, if I worked 24 hours a day, diamond painting, nonstop, it would take me 122 days, roughly 122, because, you know, there was some paintings where I had no idea how many diamonds was in them. And I just kind of had to guesstimate. There's a formula that you can do, and I don't remember it. It's taking the width of one square drill and going into how many centimeters the whole picture is, and then multiplying that by like how many squares per inch. And there's like 9 squares per inch. So you had to multiply by 9. So it was the length times 9 times the width times 9 would get you how many squares were in that painting. And then divide by like 2.25 or something like that. Anyway, so a rough estimate. I did all the calculations on all the paintings that I had. I took an inventory and I calculated out 122 days at diamond painting for 24 solid hours. Which of course is never going to happen. But I figure that, you know, times that by 3, because there's 3 8-hour segments in diamond painting, and I'm still not going to sit there and diamond paint for 8 solid hours. Like, I can barely diamond paint for 2. I just don't have that kind of time. Like, I wish I did, but I don't. If I could sit there on my ass for 8 hours doing absolutely nothing but diamond painting, I would love to. At least one day a week, but no. My life is way too busy for that. But man, talk about like a nice refreshing experiment, or a nice refreshing like weekend. Maybe I could get everybody to babysit and just like pull a couple of all-nighters and do like a Lord of the Rings marathon or like a Harry Potter marathon and just sit there and diamond paint through all the movies. Wouldn't that be fun? Anyway, so 122 times 3. It's going to take me over 300 and something days working 8 hours a day. Which is not going to happen. That's 366 days at 8 hours a day, which is not going to happen. So times that by, let's see, if the most that I work is 2 hours in a day, that's going to increase that number by like 4. So it's probably going to take me close to 4.5, 5 years to work on the paintings that I have. So do I need more paintings? No. But I'll get more paintings because that's my only source of entertainment. My only source of entertainment. I don't pay for TV. I do pay for internet because you have to have internet, right? Like, but I don't watch TV. I watch internet. If I can't stream it, then I'm not watching it. It's rare that I go to a movie. I did go see The Exorcist with my mom. It's like my favoriteest movie ever. Is The Exorcist with Linda Blair, and you know the original, the original Exorcist. And although The Exorcism of Emily Rose was pretty good too, like not gonna lie, I do like that one. But a lot of them are just kind of dumb. I do want to go see the new one though, The Believer. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna hook in with my brother and go watch that. I think one of these days, but I'm gonna do it on the $5 movie day because like that's the thing. In our town, we have the movie theater. It'll cost you $5 on a Tuesday to go watch any movie that you want at any time, all day long. $5, and you can watch as many movies as you want. And each movie is only going to cost you $5. So they do have $5 movie day, and I have been lately. I have seen that drill just does not want to sit in there. Get in there. I've seen more movies in the past month than I have in the past like 10 years. Like no joke. And a lot of them are old movies. Like I went and saw The Exorcist with my mom, and I had a blast because, like, I did not get to experience the release of that movie in theater, right? Like, I wasn't born in the 70s, you know? So it was awesome for me to be able to experience that movie the way it was meant to be experienced. Like, that was pretty freaking cool. And they've been doing that a lot lately here, where they're showing a lot of these older movies and just doing like these event days where like the whole theater is like showing movies. Actually, one of them right now is the original Hocus Pocus with Bette Midler and the other two. The girl from Sex and the City. What's her name? Anyway. So yeah, our town is showing some of the older movies. Hocus Pocus is playing right now. So I got to see The Exorcist. That was really, really fun for me. Probably the most fun I've had in a while. That's totally lame because I've seen that movie like 10 million times. But it was fun for me to see it on the big screen. And that's the kind of stuff that I do for fun. I don't go to bars. I hate going to bars. I don't drink in public, for one thing. Just because I don't trust anybody. And I always end up babysitting when I go out drinking with people. I always end up being the babysitter. I don't know why, but for some reason, like, get a drink in me and put me in a crowd of people doing dumb shit, and I am mama hen. I will chase you around, and I will babysit you all freaking night. Believe me, you are getting home safe. You are not driving drunk. You are not making really bad decisions that you are going to regret, because mama hen is there. Like, I don't know why that comes out in me, but it does. And then I don't end up enjoying myself, though, because I really don't like babysitting drunk adults. Like, that's not fun. I would much rather babysit a 2-year-old than babysit a drunk adult. Like, at least the 2-year-old has way more interesting games and conversations. So that's just the kind of person I am. So all of that tangent that I just went off on, sorry about that. Yeah, so diamond painting is kind of like the only thing that I do to like really have any release anymore. Because I don't drink, I don't smoke, you know, I don't party, I don't have a lot of friends, I'm total homebody, I hate shopping. So I diamond paint. And that's what I choose to be frivolous on. You know, I buy yarn and I buy diamond paintings. Like, and I look at it this way, like, it really doesn't matter to me. I could buy enough. I mean, I probably have enough yarn to last me the rest of my life. I'm probably never going to knit all the way through, or crochet all the way through my yarn stash. Like, that's never going to happen. But I'm okay with that because it makes me happy, right? Like, it makes me happy, and I always have something pretty to look at, something squishy to work on, and it makes me happy. And I look at it this way too, is, you know, that stuff, none of that stuff expires. It's not like it expires. I take good care of it. It's not going to get any bugs. In fact, it's, you know, I don't think you're supposed to vacuum seal it, but I do anyway. Just to make sure that there's not going to be any little pests that invade my beautiful stash of yarn. Because I would be devastated. I actually even asked my homeowner's insurance if they cover yarn. And surprisingly enough, if you don't know this, ask your insurance on your home. Like, if you own and you're paying homeowner's insurance, ask them, because they do cover yarn. They do cover yarn. They do cover knitting needles. I have not asked about diamond paintings yet, but the policy that I have, you know, covers so much personal property, and it doesn't matter what that property is. But I have more money invested in yarn and diamond paintings than I do in jewelry or anything. Like, my yarn costs more than my furniture. So it's I mean, my diamond paintings cost more than my furniture. I'm cheap. The only thing that I spend money on is crafting. And I don't really mind that. Like, I'm okay with that. I don't have any other vices. I might as well. Well, okay, I have other vices, but nothing that, like, you know, is, I mean, it's not like I'm out here spending my whole mortgage on diamond paintings, because I'm not. My bills are always paid. My kids are always taken care of. They always have the latest, greatest toys. Well, I mean, maybe not always the latest, greatest, but they have more than enough. I'm actually getting ready to purge their toy room. They have a whole room dedicated to their toys. Is that ridiculous? I feel like that's a little overboard, but I love my kids and I want them to have it all, and I just can't help myself. If it's something that they're gonna enjoy, it just gives me no greater pleasure in life than to see my child's face light up when they get a new thing, like a new thing to enjoy. And it's always stuff that, like, lasts a long time. Like their kitchen set, they have a little toy kitchen set. I got them for last Christmas. We did, and we do joint gifts because, I mean, they're 3 and 2. Like, seriously, they don't care if they have to share. It's good for them to learn how to share. So I did a joint gift thing last year so that I could, I mean, it serves 2 purposes, right? Like, it keeps the clutter down, for one thing. For another thing, it teaches them how to share. Like, they need to know that. That's important. It teaches them to work on their social skills. So I got them this kitchen stuff. And this kitchen stuff is going to last them, I mean, until they're too old to play in the kitchen, which I can't really even foresee it being until they're at least 12. Like, I would have loved to have had a play kitchen like they have when I was their age. And I mean, clear up until I was probably like 10. I probably would have enjoyed it until I was like 10. They love that. And that's one of those things that, like, those are the kind of toys that I buy them. So I'm okay with that too. Like, I don't know why I feel like I need to justify my diamond painting, but I do. For some reason tonight, I'm on a roll tonight. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not usually like that. Apparently I just needed to, like, blab today about everything. I don't know. I feel like tonight is one of those nights where I just need to justify myself in the way that I spend my money, even though I don't really need to, because, like, you guys don't care. You guys don't even know me. I don't know you. And there's certainly no judgment from me. I don't give a crap what people spend their money on. I don't care. Like, it's none of my business. It's totally yours. It's just money, right? You can't take it with you, so there's only so much you can do. And, you know, I make sure that everything's taken care of, so it's not a big deal. I don't really know why I went on this rant. I'm not really sure what my whole point of this was. I think my whole point was to say that, like, yeah, it's going to take me a long time to go through my stash. Am I going to quit buying? Probably not, because, like, it's really my biggest vice is buying crafting supplies. I buy yarn, I buy diamond paintings, I craft, I make stuff, and I enjoy making stuff. In fact, when I do go out, this is totally lame, but I sit there and knit in the movie theater. It drives my brother crazy because he can't sit next to me in the movie theater because my crocheting bothers him. So he has to sit like a seat away from me. And if it's crowded, it really irritates him because, like, there's not always a seat away. Which is part of the reason, I mean, mainly we go on Tuesdays because it's cheap. It's $5 a movie. You can't beat that. But if we do end up going on another day and it's busier, he gets a little more irritated because my crocheting while I'm watching a movie or knitting while I'm watching a movie really bothers him for some reason. I guess it's distracting to him, or I don't know. I don't know, but he doesn't like it. I don't sit still very well. I mean, that's one of those things that I just don't do. My hands are always busy. Even if it means that I'm just fidgeting with a pen. Like, my hands are always busy. So it's good for me to have projects to work on, right? Like, it's good for people to collect things, I think. Like, certain things, people should collect certain things. People should collect things that make them happy. And if, you know, rocks make you happy, then by all means, collect rocks. Like, I have a rock collection too. That makes me happy too. I love going out and looking for pretty rocks. I can't open that. This fingernail... So, like, I never get my fingernails done, right? Like, it's been a really long time. So I'm still kind of getting used to, like, having them again. I made so many freaking typing errors in school today. Like, my grammar check was, like, every other word was, like, highlighted red because I'm not used to typing with my nails yet. This is something that I really love about these storage containers is if you only need, like, a couple of drills of one color, you can just dip into it. Like, that is so convenient to me to be able to just dip in for, like, one or two drills without having to pour them in. Plus, you can see everything. And, like, I'm pretty familiar with, like, where everything is in here. And they stack so nicely. Like, they really do stack very nicely because all of these have lids that set over the top of these. And I really feel like this is my favorite storage system. I have to have some kind of storage system because my kids, my hand's all wet because I just took a drink of that and the condensation's like on the outside of the bottle. It makes it hard to open when your hands are all wet. My kids love the sound of these drills. They think that they are maracas when they're in a container. And they think that they are super pretty. So it's really fun to shake containers like maracas and then spread glitter everywhere. Because that's what it is to them. To them it's like, ooh, it's diamond painting. Mommy's got glitter that we can play with and spread all over the house. It's so much fun and it sounds like music. I'm making music. Oh my god, speaking of making music, so my littlest today, so freaking cute. I could strangle her though. She pulled up one of the floor vents and was I asked her, I was doing a puzzle with my oldest because she's learning more complex puzzles and she was having so much fun, but she needed a little bit of help. So I was working on puzzles with her. And my youngest is over playing in the toy room. And I'm not thinking anything of it, right? Like I looked over there, she was on the floor. And I just asked her, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she says, "I'm making music." It's like, okay, cool. What are you making music with? But okay, whatever. I just figured she had like her toy xylophone out or something and was making music. No, guys, what she was doing was pulling the floor vent out of the floor and making music on it with her puzzle pieces and throwing puzzle pieces down the floor vent along with anything else that she could find. There was magnets down there. There was a spoon down there. There was a couple of dishes from her kitchen set down there. There was like 4 puzzles down there. Yeah, that was fun. So I spent a good, I don't know, 30 minutes trying to reach my hand down into this floor vent. And I don't like dark spaces because of spiders. I don't do spiders. I don't do bugs. And of course, the first thing that runs through my head is, oh my god, there's going to be a spider down there. There's going to be a spider down there. And I touched a piece of cereal that had been stuffed down there previously, and I just about lost my damn mind. I totally thought it was a spider. I freaked out. But I did get all the toys out of there. And I learned something about my vacuum cleaner that I did not know. Because at one point I was like, to hell with it, I'm just going to suck the toys up with the vacuum cleaner. But how do I get this handle off? Because the wand is too big to stick into a floor vent. And where do I see? How do I see down there? So I took my camera, my phone, put it on my camera, put the flash on, stuck my phone down the hole, took pictures to see where everything was at. And then figured out how to take my vacuum apart enough to put the very top end of the handle down the hole and suck out all the toys that I possibly could. Oh, yeah. I got them all, I think. I think I got them all. I couldn't see any more on the pictures that I flashed after I was done, so I think I got them all. But yeah, she was making music by stuffing toys down the floor vent. So she also likes to make music by shaking my drill storage containers. And she likes to make pretties by opening those containers and dumping them all together on any surface and going, I diamond paint. Yeah. I might be creating monsters here because they both know what diamond painting is. They both know the shows that I put on when I watch WIP and chats. They both know what those are. They both know what my pens are for. They both know what the drills are for, and they love the pictures. They adore the pictures that I make. They will sit there and come over and just rub these. And just rub them. And run their fingers on them. And rub their fingernails across it. They have some in their room that I put up for them that they'll sit there and stare at. They love diamond paintings. So it makes me happy that they love them. I might have a problem later on, but for now, it's okay. It's manageable. But anyway, so like, what was my point about that? Oh, storage. So I have to have storage. Like, these have to be in storage, and it has to be functional storage because my little munchkins love my diamond paintings. Too much. they love them too much. So it's got to be some functional storage. And 1, 2, 3. I really like this method of working on 5 rows at a time. It doesn't seem like I'm moving very fast, but to me it feels like I'm moving faster, because like I'm seeing more results faster, and it just makes me feel like I'm a typewriter. I don't know. I don't know. It makes me happy though. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so storage. Back to storage. So I love these Elizabeth Wards because and that's what those are. I think I mentioned that. I might have. I'm not sure. I'm starting to get tired. That's a relief, because I've literally gotten like 8 hours of sleep over the last 3 days. So that's kind of a relief. I'm really glad that I'm getting tired. I freaking struggle falling asleep, like for real struggle falling asleep. I have to go check on my kiddo before I fall asleep, because she had a bit of an allergic reaction today. So I had to give her some antihistamine before bed. So I do have to make sure I check on her before I go to sleep, just to make sure the hives are settled down and she's breathing okay and all that stuff. I'm not really that concerned about it. It wasn't a huge reaction. It was just enough to make me go, yeah, I think I'm gonna give you a little dose. It's, you know, she's got an EpiPen. She's got some pretty severe allergies, so she does have an EpiPen, and she's 2. And we don't even know everything that she's allergic to yet. So that's kind of scary. But I'm learning the different levels of the reactions, and one of the things that she's allergic to is eggs. Well, we got the all clear from the allergist to go ahead and try scrambled eggs, because her blood count numbers were low enough that it was deemed safe to try it. Well, she had a little bit of a reaction to that today, so I've got to call her allergist in the morning. But I haven't really been sleeping all that well, so I'm really excited that I'm actually getting tired. I'm just gonna have to go check on her in a few minutes, so I probably won't be running this too much longer. Anywho, what were we talking about? I totally lost my train of thought. Storage. Yeah, Elizabeth Ward storage. They love the maraca sounds, right? So my little angels, I can't use those. I really would love to try those systems where you have like all of your drills poured into trays, and then you have like this, I don't know if you guys have seen them. So it's like a library for all of your trays, and they make them in different sizes, right? So like, let's say this is, you know, this would be the large size, and you could stack all of your trays into this little system, and then label the front of your trays with your labels. Instead of containers, you would label your trays, and all of your trays go in there, and it just makes it, looks like it makes it super easy to work on a kit. Unfortunately, I don't have that option, because yeah, they're 3 and 2, and they will find it, and they will just, it's like a seek and destroy mission. Yeah, seek and destroy, mission impossible. Getting into mommy's room and getting into all of mommy's crafty goods, and either spread the yarn all over the house, because I've had that happen multiple times, or spread the diamond paintings out. So those kind of systems, as much as I want to try it, not gonna work for me. Just not. So I stick with Elizabeth Ward. And I have the Tic Tacs. I do have the Tic Tacs. I was using those little those little, I was going to see if there was one on the floor close by because I give them all to my kids. Those little ones that it's like the pill bottles, the little 4-section pill bottles, and they come in like this little case. And I think I need another glue dot. My pen is not working very well. What color am I doing that color? I used those when I first started out, and I used those really until I started researching anything better, because I hate those. I am super klutzy. I will dump them everywhere. And my drills go everywhere. I can never get them closed all the way, so I always end up with a huge mess. And they don't hold anything. Like, they do not hold enough drills to work with. So I went on a mission. And I tried out the Tic Tac containers, because that was the next thing that I found that was like really cheap, was Tic Tac containers. So I got one of those stackable things. It's like 3 tiers tall, and it's just stuffed full of the small Tic Tacs. And I mean, that's okay. It's okay. I get frustrated because I don't like to fight with my storage. And I feel like I fight with those a lot, because, you take one out and then they get knocked over and they're not straight anymore, and then you can't put them back in, and it's just, I feel like I spend a lot of time fighting that system. So I went back on the search. And that's also when I discovered, better trays for myself. But I found that system where it's like, ooh, you can put all of your trays into this little tray library, and you can just put all your diamonds into a tray and have everything all spread out all the time. And I'm like, it's not gonna work for me. I gotta find something else. So then I found these bead containers, because I actually used to do beading in high school, and the only reason that I found these is because I looked up beading containers. So I was like, oh, some of those containers that I used to use, like way back in the day when I was making jewelry, those would be perfect. And lo and behold, Elizabeth Ward. That is my new favorite. This is my go-to system. And I don't like the price of them. They're very expensive. If you're buying them on like Amazon or paying for the real deal from like Joann's and stuff, once in a while you can catch them on sale. But in general, like, they're kind of expensive. So I'm just telling you right now. So this one came from Amazon. This is the real Elizabeth Ward, and a lot of these containers have already been mixed up, and I couldn't even begin to tell you the difference. This one came from Temu. This one in the back came from Temu. There's like almost no difference. The handles are different. The lid is like slightly different. The way the handles lock on the lid is like slightly different. Everything else is the same. There's not a lot of difference. And the ones on Temu and AliExpress run anywhere from 75 to 50% off. Some of them are more expensive. It depends on which seller you're using, and when you're buying it and how you're buying it. But I've gotten really lucky. I have now collected 7 of these. 7 or 8. 8 maybe? I'm not sure. It might be 8. I'm trying to think. I know I have one kit up in my Tic Tac still, and I have a total of 7 going. So I think I have 8 of these trays, because there was a couple of kits that I had to use 2 of them for. Anywho, I have bought most of them for like $11 on AliExpress. 16 on Temu. So yeah, and there's really not, I've got like 2 regular ones, and there's no notable difference between them. if you really sat there and like picked it like completely apart, like nitty gritty detail, maybe you'd be able to tell the difference between the storage containers, maybe. But honestly, I doubt it, because I tried to do that review type thing with them and couldn't tell the difference. No idea what belongs in what, to be honest. Like, no idea. They're that close, which makes me happy. So yeah, it's my go-to storage. It's easy for me to use, easy for me to fill, easy for me to stack. And they, with the lids on these actual boxes, they just set one right on top of the other, and I can stack them all on the very top of my desk where my youngins can't get to them. So that's really nice. And these containers are kind of hard for those little fingers to open, which is nice. So yeah, I really like this storage system. It's my go-to. It's my favorite. I love these little ghosts in the background. Okay, so no, I'm not gonna do it because it's gonna bother me if I do. There's one of these like on line 6 over, so I really wanted to put it there, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna wait until I get to that set of 5. So what's your favorite system? I did get, you know what I did get from Temu? You know, those little orange bags, sometimes there's a lot of happiness that comes in those. Sometimes it's a lot of sadness, and sometimes, you know, a lot of sadness and disappointment, but there's a lot of happiness that comes in those too. If you've never gone on there and played their little games that they have on their app, let me tell you, I actually got sent a free diamond painting, a free diamond painting kit, and a free underwater live action camera for free playing Fishland. Like, I didn't actually think that it was possible to win, especially like when you get down to like 1 cent. It took me probably like a good month of feeding those fish at 1 cent to earn those prizes. But there's no referral that you need. You don't have to have a new, like, because like a lot of those games that they have on there, you have to have a new referral, a new user sign up in order to win anything. But the Fishland and the Farmland games, you do not need those new referrals. It helps you, but you don't have to have them in order to win. And I actually got the prizes that I picked. I was so excited. So I have one of those zipper boxes with the little round tubes in it. I think there's like 100 of the tubes or something. It's like one of those zipper boxes. It's about as big as this, and it's a zipper pouch, and it's got the net at the top, the net pocket at the top, and then it's filled with like this foam with these little vials, these little round vials in the foam. And it's got like the little pens and the funnel and the labels and all the things, and I didn't have to pay for it. Didn't even have to pay shipping. Like, that was freaking cool. And it's all from playing that stupid little Fishland game where you feed these fish in the aquarium. And I can't tell you how many freaking hours it took me to earn that, because I don't even know. But I did win it. They do actually send you the things. And I was really surprised about that. Like, really surprised. So when I finished that round, of course, I immediately signed up for another round, and guess what I got to pick this time? An Elizabeth Ward. So if all goes well, I should earn another free Elizabeth Ward system. Now, like, you can't always, I mean, they give you limited stuff to pick from, right? Like, you're not always going to get that lucky. But this time around, I've got an Elizabeth Ward on my Fishland game. And I've got an Elizabeth Ward container on my Farmland game. And I'm really close to winning the Farmland. And the Fishland, I just restarted it, so it's going to take me a while. But hopefully, if I remember to, you know, get on there and click away once a day and feed those stupid little fish once a day, hopefully I'll have another couple of Elizabeth Ward systems, which would be really cool. If I could afford to have a kit, if I could afford it, like if I could afford it and I had the space for it, every one of my diamond paintings would be kit up and ready to go in one of these. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have that kind of space. But if I could, I would, because there is nothing more like comforting than to just be able to walk over, grab my storage, and grab my canvas and get to work. Like, I love having, I actually really like the fact that I have so many projects going on at once, because I get bored so easily. I get so bored so easily doing the same project over and over again. I will occasionally hyperfixate on one. Like this one I have been hyperfixating on because it's a Halloween picture and it's actually part of Drills and Chills, but I've been sucking at that, so it's not like I'm gonna win anything. I doubt I'm even gonna get it finished in time for Halloween. I've been sucking at it pretty bad actually. But this still has been like the only painting I've been working on for a couple of months now, since September 1st. So I do occasionally get fixated on one, but that's pretty rare. So it's actually really nice being able to have all of those kit up, because I have this app on my phone that I get to make a wheel, and I spin the wheel. I put all my kits on there that are all ready to go, all kitted up, all sectioned off with my washi tape. Some of them even have drills on them already. You know, actually, well, at this point, all of them have drills on them. But I spin the wheel and it tells me which one I'm working on, which is really cool. Sometimes I'm able to pick by myself. But most of the time I don't have that kind of decision-making power. I have to have somebody else tell me what I'm doing. Oh, that's so bad. I do that with my crochet projects too, honestly. Because there's so many things that I want to make, and so many things that I want to work on, and so many things that I have going. But like, when it comes down to it, I've only got, you know, a few hours here, a few hours there, so what do I work on? It's really nice to just be able to spin a wheel and go, that's what I'm doing today. Like, did I want to do that? I don't know. But that's what the wheel is telling me I'm going to do, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm perfectly happy and comfortable doing it in the process. I'm just not comfortable making that decision sometimes. And sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm perfectly okay with it, but most of the time I like the wheel to tell me what I'm going to do. Oh. And this is a great way for me to like relax before bed. And my eyes are getting really tired, and my mouth is getting dry. So I have rambled on for I don't even know how long. And I'm going to quit now. So thanks for hanging out with me. I totally went off on so many tangents. I did have a few things that I wanted to mention. I don't know if I mentioned them or not. I'm going to watch this back because I really don't even know that I want to post it. just because of all the rambling that I did. So we'll see. We'll see if you ever see this. But if you do see this, you know, be cool, be kind, stay safe. Peace out.